who try to access to the account. After this brief, I would like everyone to be able to access the console, AWS Management Console, before we start the lab. So this lab we call threat detection and remediation lab. So the objective is to find the threats that we simulate and investigate and take some action to protect your environment, to withdraw the damage that already been done by the attacker. So we have 4 modules in this lab. So the first one, environment setups, is going to take around 20 minutes. It's going to be lower than that. The first module, we just going to try to deploy a whole environment using CloudFormation template. The one that Rohit mentioned in the first day, CloudFormation is infrastructure as a code service. So basically you just write a code what you want to launch, what you want to build, how your network topology is in that template, CloudFormation template, and you just execute that template, and CloudFormation gonna help you to automatically build your environment that you want based on what you write in the template file. So the first one, you don't need to do anything. CloudFormation template gonna do for you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go and check what inside the environment, and we're gonna manually enable guard duty and security hub for this lab. The second module, once we have the environment right, we ensure that our detection service are on. We start collecting the logs and activity that gonna happen in the environment, because we the guard duty service and security hub service need those logs to monitor and analyze and detect something for us. Once we have that from the module 1, we're gonna go to the module 2. Module 2, basically we just try to create an environment, create an attacker instance, and that attacker instance gonna try to attack our web instance that already built from CloudFormation template as well. So you don't need to simulate or generate attack by themselves. The template itself gonna do for you. And then after we simulate the attack, we have 2 servers. One is attacker server, one is web application server. The attacker server try to attack or try to access web server, and then the log start capturing. We have data there, we have guard duty on, we have security hub on, start monitoring and analyze logs that we capturing and detect some fighting. And then we're gonna move to the third step, module number 3. Once we see some fighting that somebody try to compromise your web server, we're gonna go to the guard duties access console, and we're gonna see what fighting we have, and we're gonna dig it down. What are compromised instances that impact that related to that attack? What roles do they have? What kind of activity or action that we can stop that compromisations? So we're gonna withdraw the role. We're gonna use inspector to verify what we believe the attack is successful or not, etc. And the last module, we're gonna review what happened, and we're gonna give some room or some time to clean up the stack, the environment, and do Q&A in the last module. So I try to change the way we do the lab because we don't have face-to-face interaction. So based on what I learned, I want to ask you guys opinion. Like, do you want me to, for example, start the module 1 and show my dashboard and quickly do it, and then give you like 10 minutes to just do your own and complete module 1, and then have Q&A and check in at the end of the module 1. And then once we already know, okay, everyone fine, complete the module 1, and then I can start the module 2 and doing that like respectively. Or you want me to do like module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4 in one shot, and then we leave 40 minutes for you guys to do the lab. I just want to ask your opinion. What kind of option do you like?
ครับเหมือนที่คุณการเล่าอะครับก็คือว่าปกติเนี่ยเราจะเป็น face to face ใช่ไหมครับวันนี้มันจะฟอร์มมันจะเปลี่ยนนิดนึงอาจจะทุกคนอาจจะเราไม่ได้อยู่ในห้องเพื่อช่วยwalk through ด้วยกันได้นะครับคำถามก็คือว่าทุกคน prefer ว่าให้เราไปทีละโมดูล แล้วคือหมายถึงว่าคุณการเนี่ยจะทำให้ดูก่อนโมดูลที่1แล้วทุกคนค่อย follow แล้วค่อยไปโมดูลที่2ทุกคนค่อย follow หรือว่าทุกคนอยากให้คุณการรันไปเลยทีเดียวจนจบแล้วก็ทุกคนก็มานั่งทำอีกทีหนึ่งนะครับคำถามก็คือว่าอยากได้แบบที่1หรือแบบที่2ครับช่วยresponse ในแชทนิดหนึ่งนะครับว่าเราน่าจะไปแบบไหนใครตอบก่อนเราจะใช้วิธีนั้น
ค่ะ because อยากให้เพราะว่ามันจะยากในการเสนอ option 1เพราะว่ามันจะยากในการ track คือไม่อยากให้ทุกคน lost เพราะว่าถ้าเกิดโมดูล1ไม่สำเร็จนะคะคือโมดูล2โมดูล3ก็คือจะ fail ไปเลยอะค่ะแล้วบางทีพอโมดูล2โมดูล3มัน fail ปุ๊บเขาก็จะไม่กล้ามาถามว่าเป็นเพราะอะไรเพราะว่าการต้องเป็น troubleshooting one by one ใช่ไหมคะเพราะฉะนั้นการมีความรู้สึก option 1น่าจะโอเคกว่าแต่ก็ฟังopinion นะคะ
โอเคครับทุกคนเห็นว่ายังไงบ้างครับทางทีมครับค่อยๆไปทีละโมดูลดีไหมครับอย่างน้อยให้ไปโมดูล1กับ2ให้ได้ก่อนเพราะว่ายังไงผมเข้าใจว่าเวลาวันนี้เราค่อนข้างจำกัดเนาะแล้วก็ทุกคนอาจจะได้มีเวลาครับเป็นวิธีที่1ครับโอเคได้ครับ
Okay. Let's say module 1, what we're gonna do, we just gonna launch a template, right? And we're gonna build this environment that I mentioned before. So can everyone going to the, sorry if I switch from the workshop website and to the console. So I assume everyone can access the console like this. So everyone can use the hash that provided by Kun U and be able to access the console. So let's check the module number 1. Let me expand a bit. I already explained in the module number 1, we're going to build the environment. Before building the environment, okay, if someone cannot enter to the console, just let U know or leave the comment in the chat box. So first of all, in the module 1, we need to enable guard duty, which is our threat detection service that gonna analyze the log and detect some finding for us. So basically, it's you just easily to click this link, and please ensure that you are in oligo regions, and then my console gonna show a different UI because I already enabled guard duty. What you have to do, basically, you just need to enable it. And yeah, and then probably you don't have any finding here. Once you enable, you're gonna have time to do that. Let me go through quickly. First of all, you enable guard duty, and then you deploy this stack that's gonna build this environment for you. So I'm gonna go back to this, go to the main workshop website, click deploy this stack. It's gonna redirect to your console on Oregon regions, and it's gonna open the CloudFormation console, and it's gonna tell you that you're gonna use this template to launch the stack. You don't have to do anything. So the template is already in an S3 bucket somewhere. So what you have to do, you just click next and process to launch the stack. One more thing you have to do, don't forget to do this. There are 2 parameters here when you try to launch the stack. The first one is the resource prefix. You leave it as default. The second one is email address. Please don't forget to put your email address here. Why? Because you're gonna get notification from guard duty using this email address. If you don't put any email address here, your workshop will not working. So, and then click next. We leave everything as default now. We try to launch the stack as quick as we can. And then we have to acknowledge this because we're gonna allow AWS to handle IAM resources for you. And then you click create stack. It's similar to what Rohit showed yesterday when you try to create IAM user automatically. So now it's gonna show this information for you. It's gonna show that please ignore these 2 complete stacks here. I already tried something before. So you're going to see that this is the name of your stack, and they try to build the environment for you. And this is the status of the stack that you try to build. And you can click refresh here to check what's happening here. So they try to create a lot of things like a Lambda function, like create a bucket, everything. And then it's gonna take 5 minutes. Once you enable guard duty, you launch this stack. The second thing that you have to do, go back to the workshop website. They told you that you just keep everything as default. And then the third thing, you need to set up Amazon CloudWatch event rules and automatically respond. CloudWatch is a tool that allows you to monitor the performance or the events in your environment. And it has a feature called CloudWatch event rule that you can create a rule and alert when the data fit to the rule that you create. What we try to do, we try to create a rule. This is the rule that we're gonna create on Amazon Cloud through Amazon CloudWatch, and telling Amazon CloudWatch that if the log contain this kind of information, please alert us. So maybe you're gonna curious like why we have the log. Actually, the template that you installing already push the log from EC2 from guard duty to Amazon CloudWatch, and then that's why we can create event rule to trigger event for us. So what you have to do is it's pretty simple. You go to the CloudWatch console, just click from the workshop website. And then please ignore the information here. I already enable it. So, and we have to click create rule, and then copy and paste this event pattern below. And then we have to select the target. What does it mean? It's like when you find some information that match to the rule, please do something, please take action. To tell the CloudWatch event to take action, we have to add the target. So the target in this case is going to be Lambda function that's going to take some action for me, for us. So let's go to the rule, create rule. You create rule, and service name need to be guard duty, because the information going to be finding from guard duty. You edit and you copy and paste this one and you save it. And then you create a target here, select a Lambda function that's gonna take action for you. This is the name of the Lambda function. Threat detection workshop remediation NAC. What Lambda function gonna do once Amazon CloudWatch find something in guard duty finding? It's gonna rework or wake up the Lambda function to do remediation for you. That Lambda function gonna update network access control to block the traffic from the attacker instance. So I'm gonna go back to CloudWatch. So since I already create the rule, so once you create the rule and select the target, okay, point to that Lambda function, you're gonna have one rule here, have the same rule here, and this is the target, which is Lambda function that identified in the workshop website. Now we can go back to the CloudFormation template to check whether the stack is already built or not. You can refresh here. You can see that the stack that you launched before the environment that you want to build before for this lab is already complete. The fourth thing that you have to do in module number 1 is you have to enable security hub as well. Simply click the link from here and enable it. Pretty simple. I already enable it. But if you have any question about how to enable it, just drop me the message. So again, this is once you finish 4 steps in module number 1, you're going to have this environment in your account. So again, what you have to do, enable guard duty. The second one, enable security hub. The third one, launch the stack, complete the template, launch the CloudFormation template. And the last one is create Amazon CloudWatch rules. I think that is a good brief for the module number 1. So I'm gonna give you around 10 minutes, 15 minutes to try to complete the module number 1, and we check in again. Is that good for you?
โอเคครับก็เดี๋ยวเราใช้เวลาสักประมาณให้เวลาทุกคนสักประมาณ10 นาทีเนาะในการprovision environment ขึ้นมาแล้วก็ create rules ขึ้นมาก่อนนะครับบน CloudWatch Event นะครับโอเคเดี๋ยวเรามาเริ่มโมดูลที่2ต่ออีกสักประมาณ10 นาทีนะครับ 10:50 โดยประมาณถ้าใครติดตรงไหนสามารถแจ้งได้เลยนะครับ
แจ้งเลยนะคะ
ใช้เวลากับโมดูลแรกประมาณ10 นาทีนะครับโอเค
that after you provide your email address, you're gonna get an email to confirm that you subscribe. So please go and check your email inbox and respond so that you can receive the finding from AWS security service. เป็นไงบ้างคะขอเช็คนะคะทุกคน enable guard duty security hub แล้วก็install the stack เรียบร้อยไหมคะถ้ามี error ตรงไหนแจ้งเลยนะคะ ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะก็ประมาณ10 นาทีแล้วนะคะรบกวนถ้าใครเสร็จแล้วรบกวนแจ้งนะคะเราจะได้เริ่มโมดูลที่2นะคะ
มีใครติดเรื่อง provision ตรงไหนบ้างไหมครับเห็นทุกคนเงียบมากเลย
หรือว่าถ้าเกิดอยากให้การรันช็อตเดียวไปถึงโมดูล3เลยก็ได้นะคะคุณอู๋งั้นการเริ่มโมดูล2เลยนะคะ
ครับผมว่าเดี๋ยวด้วยข้อจำกัดของเวลาอาจจะถ้าทุกคนโมดูลไม่ติดนะครับก็เดี๋ยวอาจจะให้คุณการรันโมดูล2กับ3ไปเลยก็ได้ครับแล้วก็เดี๋ยวทุกคนจะได้มีเวลาทำแลบไปยาวไปทีเดียวนะครับแต่ถ้าสมมติว่าระหว่างนี้ใครติดโมดูลที่1ผมว่าก็สามารถแจ้งได้นะครับเพราะว่ามันเป็น foundation เนาะเดี๋ยวจะทำโมดูลที่2กับโมดูลที่3ต่อไม่ได้อย่างนั้นดีไหมครับโอเคไหมครับทุกคนมีใครตอบในแชทบ็อกซ์ได้บ้างไหมครับผมเริ่ม
ได้เลยค่ะ
โอเคได้ครับ
โอเคค่ะอันนี้ก็คือ this is the module number 1 this is the result of module number 1 so if you have a chance like before I start module number 2 I just would like to quickly go through the security service like guard duty once you enable it you're gonna see you have a finding tab here probably you see I think for the finding information probably for you guys is blank now but for my case I tried something so I saw some finding basically guard duty gonna monitor 3 types of log in your environment. First one is CrowdTrail log that provide API call activities history, and the second one is DNS log, domain name service log, and the last one is VPC log that provide you IP traffic information. So guard duty constantly monitoring and detecting some activity, malicious activity, and authorized activity for you, and show you the finding what detected here. So they provide finding type, the resources that will associated to the finding type when they see that activity and how many times they see activity. So if you go, this is guard duty. So we can go to the security hub console quickly. Please ignore the notification about AWS config now. It's not relevant for our lab today. So security hub is another service that help you to consolidate and aggregate all finding from 3 AWS security services. One of them is guard duty that I just showed you before. The second one is inspector, which is a service that help you to scan the flaws and vulnerabilities of your web application and operating systems. And the last one is the finding from Amazon Messi, the one that Andrew mentioned that help you to detect personal data that you store in the S3 bucket. So, and this is how the dashboard of security hub look like. You're gonna see what insight providing here. It's like how many event that not comply and comply to each security standards such as foundational security best practice, which one is not comply to ICS AWS Foundation benchmark that I just told you that is consists of 140 plus check, and security hub gonna check each check for you and showing here. So how many criteria that fail compared to the checklist that provide in CIS AWS Foundation benchmark, for example. It's not only consolidated finding, it's also showing you insight, for example, which bucket have the most finding, or which is EC2 instance have the most finding, or IAM user have the most finding. Probably you know that, okay, like user A generate a lot of suspicious activity or finding detected by guard duty. Maybe you're gonna go and have a look about that account. Add users. So, okay, let's go back to the second module. What we're going to do in the second module, basically, is going to be the same like the first one. We already provide CloudFormation template for you. And that CloudFormation template, if you launch the stack, I'm going to show you how to do quickly. You're going to have this environment set up on the left side. On the right side of your hand on the diagram is already built by the first module. The second one, you're going to build the second module. What they're going to do, the CloudFormation template going to launch your web server and actually going to launch another attacker instance as well that gonna try to attack the web server that you already built using CloudFormation template. This is what we're going to do in the module 2. Let's go to the workshop website. Click at the module number 2, attack simulation. It's really quick one here. You just need to deploy the CloudFormation template that they provide on the website. We're doing the same thing. We just leave everything as default. You don't need any parameter to put here. So you just go through and keep everything as default. Allow the template manage IAM for you, and then you build your stack. This is going to be the quick one. So you already see that the first one already complete. Now we build the second one for you. So it's going to be real quick. I'm going to go to the workshop website and check what next we have to do. So basically, you just need to launch and second stack, and that's it. So no other activity for the module number 2. You can start doing now. It's pretty simple. Let's go back, refresh to check whether the second stack already built completely or not. If anyone failed to build their stack, it's going to show the red status here that is fail. So just let us know anytime if you face that issue. In the event tab, you can see a lot of information here. What this template try to build. It's going to create security group, like an instant firewall. It's going to create a subnet and put web server in one network and put attacker instance in another network. And have some network misconfiguration there so that attacker can compromise the web server. While we're waiting the second stack to be completed, we can go to the module number 3. So module number 3 actually is really straightforward. So we have the environment that capture the logs. We have instances that gonna be compromised. We have attack instances, and the attacker gonna automatically try to do brute force attack over SSH communication. So what they try to do, the attacker try to guess the password randomly and to be able to access to your web server over port 22. Let me go back to the CloudFormation template again to check whether the second stack is completed or not. It's still running. At this point, if you complete the module number 1, you should get email notification that you already subscribed to a topic, and you're gonna get notification when they find something or some finding, and you should be able to click to confirm the subscription. If you don't have if you don't receive any email so far, please ensure that you put the right email address, or just let me know. I can help you to troubleshooting. Okay, cool. So you can see that once the stack is complete, it's going to change the status to be complete, created complete. It's green color here. So yeah, now we can start the module number 3. Go back to the workshop website. Click module number 3 here, detect and respond. So in this module, it's going to be pretty complex. We're going to touch so many services. We're going to switch between the workshop website and the console. So if I do too quick, just let me know. I can slow down a bit. So in this module, right, so we assume that we have some misconfiguration there, okay, in your environment. Attacker may have been able to gain the access to your web server you just launched, and you getting alert. I expect you getting alert on your email address already. And then now it's time to find what is the compromisation based on the alert. So it consists of 2 parts. The first part is we try to detect and investigate. So what you have to do is you can go back to we can go back to guard duty console and try to find what finding do you have now. We go back to guard duty console here, and I refresh here. I expect we have to, this is what I tried this lab yesterday, but it's gonna take some time for the attacker instance start attacking your web server, but I can show you here based on what I tried yesterday. So basically this is a finding that you're gonna get. It's gonna show on guard duty. It's a lot of finding here. And based on the workshop website, they ask you to find, sorry, I can go back a bit. This finding, unauthorized access, IM user malicious IP caller. So if we go to the guard duty, so this one, I expect everyone gonna get this finding soon, maybe in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. If you don't get any finding showing on your guard duty, just let us know anytime. So if you click this finding try to tell you that you have unauthorized access from a malicious IP address. When you click at the finding on the right side, it's going to show the detail of that finding. So this is really useful information for investigating the security event and for your SOC team to understand what's happening and what are AWS resources that impact and related to that finding. So if you have a look, you can see guard duty provide you severity level is medium 1, is which region, which location that attack really happening. So for this case, it's going to be Oregon region, US West 2, and how many times you see this kind of events, and the account ID, of course, that you find this finding, and the time is showing that is 60 hours ago, because I tried this lab yesterday again. So they can tell you that, okay, this instance is a target instance. The target instance that get compromised, and they're providing an instant ID, which is the instant that you're running web application there. Also providing instant types that you use to launch your web application, in this case M5 large, and this then is not terminated yet, it's still running. And the zone, the AC, the image that you use to run that in that application, the launch time, IAM ID, and etc. A lot of information here that provide you even the network interface that attacker coming into your web server, and the VPC ID, the DNS name, the public IP address. This is really interesting information. It's good information. This is the public IP address of the attacker. It's a lot of information here. So what if you are a SOC analyst, what you have to do? So probably first thing you have to go and check out that instance web application, right? So it's easy to go to check. You just simply click the resource ID here. It's gonna automatically redirect to EC2 console. Sorry, I think we cannot show here because, okay, this is why that link is not work, because that is the instance that I launched yesterday and I already terminated. So this is what I'm showing today. Now is the instances that launched by the CloudFormation template. As I mentioned before, you're gonna have two instances. The first one is malicious host owned by attacker. Another one is the compromised instance, which is the instance that you're running your web application. So you can see once you go and check the detail of that finding, you're going to know that, okay, this instance is the targeted instance. This instance is the instance that get compromised. So you click in that instance, and probably your as a SOC analyst, you try to understand what service that instance running, is web application. I say again, this is the same information that you can get from Guard Duty Console. And then the most important thing is you understand that attacker is able to access this instance, and probably they have permission to do other things. For example, go to S3 bucket, remove everything in your account, etc. And even kind of change the permission that open the public access of your S3 instance. What you have to do first, you have to check what is the role or permission of this instance, what permission, what capability that this instance can do. So you have to go and search for IAM role. This is the role that allows that instance to do so many things in your environment. So, and you can see that this is the name of the IAM role attached to the compromised instance. So what you can do, you want to know what kind of permissions that include in this role that compromised instance has. You can simply click here. It's going to redirect to IAM console and showing this role particularly. And you can see that this is, I think you feel familiar with this. Rohit showed you yesterday how to create a role and attach to a user. You can see that role consists of a number of policy, and they have this policy attached. Click to see policy, right? What this instance can do, because this instance has this role attached to them. You can see that this instance web server has so many permissions to do. For example, I'm gonna scroll down. They can list a table in the DynamoDB database, which is key pair and document database. They can take any action with logs, put even log, create log groups. They can take any action to S3 bucket, like allow to access S3 bucket, etc. This is really a lot of permission that web application or web server can do. So to stop or to block the attacker to gain that access, maybe in the future, what you have to do, you can go to the rework session tab here, and you rework the active access. Once you click here, the web application instance or your web server will not have any permission anymore. So this kind of help you to block attacker behavior to do other things that might risky for your organization or your applications. And then let's go back to the workshop website. Where we try to check, and then we already done this session. Respond, go to check IAM watch role that compromised instance has, and we rework the action. So once you rework an action, right, and the compromised instance still running, so what we suggest you to do, instead after you rework the role or the permission that attached to that instance, we recommend you to restart the EC2 instance as well, to reset or rotate the access key. That probably attacker already had that. So probably I go to IAM again, maybe rework it. I acknowledge I'm reworking all active session for this role. I rework it. And then we go back to EC2 instance, EC2 management console. The first one we already rework the roles, the permission. So we have to restart these instances, resume to the good state and get a new access key so that a attacker cannot use that access key to do other things anymore. So to restart this instance or your web server, you just simply click here, go to the Actions tab, and go to the instance stage. And probably reboot it. You can refresh to update their status. So I can redo again. Yes. Okay. Seeing the status is not changed. Probably I try to stop it, maybe restart again. Okay. Now I try to stop the compromise instance and I'm gonna resume it again after it's completely stopped. And then we go back to the workshop website. The reason why we restart the instance is to rotate the access key that the attacker already have, and we want to ensure that the attacker with the old key will not be able to do any actions anymore in our environment, cannot access the S3 bucket, cannot access the database. So you can see I also get some notification. So it's a bit delay. I think 5 minutes later, we get the first finding from guard duty. And once you get the finding from guard duty, you can follow the step that I just previously explained. So now I'm going to check, sorry if I switch between. Now it's already stopped since I failed to reboot it. Now I'm gonna try to start the compromise instance. Okay, now it's really up and running, the compromise instance. So one way to confirm that you have a new access key, the access key of this web server already rotated. The one way that you can check it, you can use System Manager to do that. We can go back to the workshop website and going to System Manager, and then we should see the compromise instance running there, and then we try to check whether the access key is changed or not. So we follow the step, we go to System Manager, so I'm checking, we go to Session Manager, maybe it takes some time when it's running. So basically you can go to the Session Manager, you can create a session to that compromise instances and check the access key, whether it's a new access key or not, using this command, curl HTTP and followed by this IP address, and it's gonna return the information about access key for you. So we can skip this part. So once you've completed the part 1 of module number 3, is like try to check out the finding. After you receive notification in your email, you go and check what instances are impacted based on that finding, you go to that EC2 instance and check which role or permission does that instance, compromised instance has, and then you try to revoke that role so that you ensure that attacker doesn't have any role anymore to do anything in the AWS account, and then you restart the EC2, the compromised instances to ensure that you really rotate the access key. And the second part of the module number 3 is we want to ensure that we want to check, right? I already said that guard duty finding already tell you that, okay, attacker try to do SSH boot fraud to your web server. It's kind of randomly like generate ton of password until they can get into your web server. So we want to verify that the attacker really be able to enter to your web server or not. So to do that, we have to you can go to Security Hub to verify or get more information about that finding or that security event as well. So let's go to AWS Security Hub. Okay, this is, you can see that this is, we're going to Security Hub console now. This is the new finding that I just got. It's a bit delayed, but you can see that actually is the same finding from guard duty. As I mentioned before, Security Hub is kind of consolidated finding from guard duty, Messi, and inspector. So once you go to Security Hub, you're gonna see the same information. And when you click in, you also can see the information here. And the good thing of Security Hub, you can find another finding that related to that instance. Okay, let me copy this instance, which is resort ID here. And probably we try to find another finding that generated by Security Hub itself, or probably from another AWS services that related to that activity, so that we can know more about that security event. So you go to finding tab on guard security console. You try to filter based on the instance ID. So maybe it's not coming out yet. What I expect here, I expect to see other findings from inspector. So, but probably it's still working after we launch the stack. So the second stack that we launch, or the first stack, so basically it's gonna tell inspector to automatically scan the compromised instance. And inspector gonna find something. For example, inspector gonna find that you really allow HSS passwords authentication to your web server. So that means like you allow attacker try to access you to your web server based on username and password. That's why they can take boost fraud attack. Sorry for this. We'll go back to Security Hub again. Okay, let me find the inspector finding from yesterday, so that I can show you what I expect. You're gonna get probably after this 10 minutes after. Okay, so you're gonna see this is inspector finding that you're supposed to get soon. You can see that inspector gonna scan that compromised web server and show some flaw that they detected. So one thing that I want you to have a look is this one, because it's related to the instance. So this is one finding from inspector. You can see that the compromised instance is configured to support password authentication or HSS. So that means it's risky to be attacked by brute force attack. So once you click here, they're gonna provide information here about that flaw that they already detected, right? And one thing that you can have a look to verify that attacker really successfully to log in into your web server or not. Like you can go and check at CloudWatch log. Let me find the link here. It's second part of the part 2 in this module. You can go to the CloudWatch log that we already pushing log from compromised EC2 instance to CloudWatch log. And we can go and have a check about SSH communication there, and to verify that the attacker really successful enter to your web application or not. So let me copy this. This is the log part. So we redirect to CloudWatch. And then we search for, we go to the sorry, let's try again. Yeah, we just start getting the notification. We go to a log group again and try to find this one. I'm not sure why we don't see this log. Okay. Let me check again. Okay, log secure. Okay, this one. Okay, so for your case, you're gonna see one log stream, which is a log from the compromised EC2 instance. Let's have a look. This provide you history related to HHS. You can see from this log file that one person tried to randomly put the password to log into your web server. So you can see a lot of failed attempt here, and to check whether they're really successful or not. In this case, actually, they're really successful. Probably you can search. See, like you can see that you see a lot of time because the stack automatically try to do the attack. So you can see that actually the attacker really succeed to enter to your web server, and you can see what is a source IP address and what is the port and the protocol that they try to enter to your web server. So to go to check the CloudWatch log is to help you to verify that how far the attacker is. You can understand that now. Okay, after you restart the EC2 instance without the role that EC2 instance have, you can have time to verify this. So now you are in a safe place because you already restart the EC2 instance and withdraw the role. And probably you have to go and disable SSH password authentication to stop the same risk again. I think we done around module number 3. Okay. I think it's pretty clear what you have to follow. So again, before I let you to try by your own to complete module number 2 and module number 3, so let me recap quickly what you're gonna build in module number 1, right? So basically on the right box, you build this environment, you enable guard duty, you enable security hub, you start collecting the log, and you also register yourself to get notification from guard duty as well. And then for the second module, you kind of build the left environment, you launch a web server with misconfiguration floor that you allow any traffic coming in, you allow SSH passwords authentication. So, and you already launched another instances that attacker gonna use. Actually, it's act like attacker from outside, but in this case, for sake of lab, of doing lab, we just launched another instance in the same VPC. And then after you finish the second stack, so basically the malicious host try to generate HSS boost for attack to your compromised instance or web server, for example. And since you're collecting a log, you're going to get finding from guard duty. And in the module number 3, you go and check out guard duty and security hub, what are impacted resources and what role, what permission you have to withdraw, and you go and withdraw it. And as well as you restart the compromised instance as well. And after that, after you understand, you can take action. For example, you go and disable SSH password authentication. Probably you have to review the role that you used to give to that compromised instance scan. Maybe if they don't need permission to access database, maybe they need permission to access S3 only, etc. All right. Before I let you try module number 2 and module number 3 by your own, do you have any questions so far before you start?
ถึงตรงนี้มีใครมีข้อสงสัยตรงไหนไหมครับว่าเดี๋ยวเราจะต้องรันโมดูลที่2กับโมดูลที่3เพราะว่าอะไรบ้างสิ่งที่เราพยายามจะทำก็คือว่าเราจะซิมูเลตตัวเองเป็น attacker แล้วก็พยายามจะใช้สื่อสาร AWS ในการโซฟปัญหาหลักๆคือแค่นั้นเลยนะครับนั่นคือสิ่งที่จะเกิดขึ้นในโมดูลที่2กับโมดูลที่3นะครับโอเคผมเข้าใจว่าเดี๋ยวให้เวลาทุกคนในการทำ lab ดีกว่านะครับแล้วก็เดี๋ยวเราอาจจะกลับมาสักคือ lab เนี่ยอาจจะยังไม่สามารถ complete ได้แต่ว่าเหมือนที่ทำ lab ได้จนถึงช่วงวันนี้ประมาณเที่ยงคืนนะครับ account เนี่ยจะอยู่จนถึงประมาณช่วงวันนี้เที่ยงคืนนะครับที่ให้เราสามารถ carry over ในการทำ lab ได้ให้จนจบนะครับเนาะนะครับงั้นเดี๋ยวเรากลับมาเจอกันช่วงสักประมาณ11ตอนนี้เที่ยงใช่ไหมครับเที่ยง45ก็ได้นะครับให้เวลาทุกคนทำ lab นิดนึงแล้วก็เผื่อใครจะมีคำถามอะไรนะครับแล้วเดี๋ยวเราจะ recap กันละว่า2วันนี้เราดูเรื่องอะไรกันไปบ้างอีกสักรอบนึงนะครับโอเค
sorry ก่อนที่จะเช็คอิน again ประมาณเที่ยง45คือเดี๋ยวการจะ stand by อยู่ที่นี่นะคะถ้าเกิดใครมีปัญหาเรื่อง lab อะไรคือปิงมาได้เลยนะคะ
โอเคครับ so Andrew Rohit we come back again 12:45 Bangkok time just for your information so we leave everyone to do the labs
okay
right
คุณอูคะฮัลโหล
ครับ
ค่ะวันนี้จะมีประชุม SOW Scope of Work ต่ออะค่ะ
ครับ
เป็น Team Cat แล้วก็ Daily Tech แล้วก็ AWS ใช่ไหมคะ
ใช่ครับ
SOW นี้คือจะเป็นคุยเกี่ยวกับประมาณไหนบ้างอะคะ
ก็เป็น agreement มากกว่าครับว่าใน SOW ที่ทาง Daily Tech จะ deliver ให้เรา agree กันประมาณนี้นะครับครับเพราะเรามี adjust ตัว SOW นิดนึงแล้วก็ทุกคนจะได้เห็นภาพด้วยว่าเดี๋ยวเราจะคุยอะไรกันบ้างหมายถึงว่าในโปรเจกต์ครับ
โอเคได้ค่ะขอบคุณ
ครับผม